All right, I am going to give you a short lesson on credit cards and how credit cards work and why I consider credit cards to be a total scam that is in many ways doing enormous harm to our economy. Um, all right, so one of the things you have to remember is that credit cards are given to you by banks. These are banks that are for-profit banks, and they are basically bank loans. And the real emphasis is on the word loan because these are mini bank loans that you are taking to the grocery store, that you're taking to the clothing store, that you're taking to buy whatever items you want to buy. And they are giving you these loans, and they expect you to pay back this loan, these small loans or big loans. They expect you to pay this back every month. And if they don't, then they charge you interest. And the quantity of interest is dependent on the agreement that you have with the bank. Some interest rates are as low as 8 or 9%. Normal interest rates could be 15%. They even get above 20%, which is not outside the norm. So you could end up owing a lot of interest on top of the money that you already owe. So to demonstrate that, I want to give you a particular scenario. Um, it is a given month, and you decide that you're going to go shopping, and you buy $2,000 worth of items, worth of goods in that month. So you've bought $2,000 worth of things. You get your credit card bill. It says that you owe $2,000. Fine, you've got the money in the bank, so you cut them a check. You pay $2,000, and the difference is you owe them nothing, right? And because you owe them nothing, you actually don't owe them any interest, which is really good for you because the next month you go out and you buy another $2,000 worth of goods. You get the credit card bill at the end of the month, which means you owe, because of the lack of interest and the zero interest, you actually don't owe them any interest from the month before, so that's good. So all that you owe them this month is $2,000. Great, you've got a steady job, you've got the money in the bank account, so you pay them $2,000 and the difference is zero. Similarly, month 3, you go out and buy $2,000 worth of goods. There's no interest from the previous month, so you only owe them $2,000. You've got your steady job, you've got it in your bank account, so you pay them $2,000 and the difference is zero. Makes total sense. The bank is not earning a ton of money off of you. They actually make money off of each transaction that you have. So they will be, don't worry, the bank will still be getting a lot of money. They're just not going to be getting extra money from you. They're actually getting their money from the merchants for conducting these transactions. But they're not getting extra money for you because they're not charging you late fees because you're paying this on time, and they're not charging you interest because you're paying off the full amount. All right, so I'd like to show you a different scenario though. You go out shopping, same situation, you go out and you buy $2,000 worth of things. And so you owe the bank $2,000. But this time we're changing the formula just a little bit. Let's say, for example, you don't have as steady a job or you don't have the money in the bank account. There's actually a tricky little thing that they do. They actually say that the minimum amount that you have to pay is usually only 1% of the total amount that you owe. So actually on the bill it might say, oh, you only owe $20. Like, yes, you owe $2,000, but the minimum payment is $20. That's really misleading because if you only paid the minimum payment, you would owe a lot of money. In any case, let's say you only end up paying $1,000 because you don't have all 2,000. That means the difference is $1,000. You still owe the bank $1,000 on top of $1,000 of that $2,000 that you spend. All right, so we move on to our next month. You continue to shop pretty big, but you don't necessarily have the money, so you buy $2,000 worth of things. But this time, notice that you actually owe a bunch of interest. There's a 20%, let's just say it's relatively high, but not outside the realm of normal. You owe 20%. Now, interestingly enough, they don't charge you 20% on the difference. They don't charge you 20% on the amount of money that you still owe. They charge you 20% on the full amount that you owed from month 1. Not the only $1,000 because you paid off $1,000, but you actually owe 20% on the full amount that you owed them, which is for an additional $400. So this time you owe them $3,400 because you owe them $1,000 from month one. You owe them $2,000 from the things you bought in month two, and you owe them the $400 from the interest that you owe for the fact that you didn't pay them all off on month one. Well, you didn't have the 2 grand in month one. You sure as heck don't have the 2 grand in month two. So you only end up paying $1,000. So the difference is you still owe the bank. For this month, you owe them $2,400. So here we go into month three. Still go on your spending spree. You spend $2,000 sometimes. And by the way, spending sprees sometimes just pay for the things, the essentials. You pay for your gasoline. You pay for maybe your car payment on your credit card. Maybe you pay for your groceries or some of your bills online are paid through your credit card. All of this stuff can be just essentials. It doesn't mean that you're going out and spending huge amounts of money on Jamba Juice. You might not be splurging. These might just be normal things that you're buying. So $2,000 in addition. You owe interest. Remember that you owe interest not on the $2,000 that you bought, not on the difference between from the last month, but the full amount that you owed last month, which was $3,400. So the 20% interest on $3,400 is $680, which means this month you get a credit card bill for a whopping $5,080. $5,080. It's a huge amount of money. And for someone without regular job, regular cash inflow, you might pay your $1,000, but you are now by the end of month three. You started off month one owing $1,000 at the end of month one. At the end of month three, you owe $4,080. Now that is because you are overspending, right? $1,000 per month, but you're also now tacked on an additional $1,000 on top of that, $1,080 on top of that you owe to the bank because you're not paying off your credit card in full. This ensnares millions of Americans. Millions of Americans have credit card debt, millions of them. I had friends in college who left, they got free t-shirts for signing up for this credit card. It was easy spending. They could, buy the pizza. They could, buy the Chinese food. They could buy their books. They could buy whatever they needed to do with their credit card. But they didn't have regular money coming in to pay off the bills. And so they left college with thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, money that they didn't have because they were students and didn't have regular jobs. Okay, so how bad is it? Millions and millions of Americans have credit card debt. What is the total credit card debt in the United States? $856.9 billion. I'm going to take a second, let that settle in. $856.9 billion. That is a ridiculous quantity of money. Americans are in extraordinary debt to banks. This keeps them from being able to sometimes buy cars, buy houses, rent the house that they want, rent the apartment that they want or the house that they want, to be able to get an education because the banks will deny them because their credit is ultimately effectively ruined. This is a travesty. So, what are the lessons that we learn? You need to make sure that you pay all of your credit card bills. Let's just start with you, and let's start with credit cards. This doesn't, by the way, go into debt, which includes mortgages, student loans, car payments, car loans, that kind of thing. So we're just talking about credit cards. You need to pay all of your credit card bills. And of course you need to pay all your credit card bills. If you owe the money, you got to pay it. But my advice to you, and this is to keep you from going into the debt based on just solely on the interest that you owe. Pay all of your credit card bills in full, right? Don't pay just part of it. Don't pay just the recommended amount or the minimum payment. Pay it in full, the full quantity to the penny. Pay it in full. Pay it on time. They love charging late fees. If you're even a day late with your payment, they'll charge you $35, $40 of a late fee, which those can add up. So pay it in full. on time and every single time. Don't miss a month, don't skip a month, don't skip a week. Just pay it in full on time every single time you get a credit card. And in the end, it'll work out for you. And you can use credit cards. Credit cards can be a very beneficial thing if you follow this advice. If you don't follow this advice, you can end up in pretty serious debt pretty quickly.